Hello, this is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com, bringing you another edition of Dragons in Modern, this time trying to turn our Gideons into Sarkhan the Masterless. We have our Sarkhan and we have some Gideons. We need to draw some things. This Esperson, though, can draw some cards. Alright, I think we will keep. I don't normally like to see Sarkhan the Masterless in my opening 7 because it's basically a 6-card hand. But Mulligan is going to be a 6-card hand too, and we have a 1-drop followed into a 2-drop now, but also followed by a Surveil land if we want to try to set up our draw for. So this looks to be, man, what's the name of that card? Belcher. Is this a Belcher deck? Run out S% though. Hope to draw some cards out off of it. So we do have the Surveil land to set up for our 3rd land, which gives us a Gideon Blackblade. So we have a nice early curve in time then to draw in the lands we need to cast the Sarkhan on time. Perhaps not Belcher. If they're playing a basic land, it is, from my experience, not going to be Belcher. Okay, sweet. There is our 3rd land for this Gideon. The question is, what do we want to do with our mana? We can just play on curve and run out this Gideon. Alright, first we'll just attack. If they have some shenanigans, we'll flash in the Doorkeeper Thrall. Maybe that will stop the shenanigans. They're going to play a Spikefield Hazard and probably pay the mana to draw a card, or to keep us from drawing a card. Sure. So to maximize our mana, we could do this Doorkeeper Thrall at the end of their turn. We could Gideon and then Surveil like I had originally planned to try to find our next land drop. Having Spikefield Hazards, trying to think of the best way to keep our Gideon alive. It might be to, alright, well, we'll just run it out. Stick to our plan. Opponent's now wondering, okay, what's going on? They probably thought we were Hammer Time. I'm also wondering what's going on in our opponent's deck. Spikefield Hazard and these whatever they're called, double-faced cards, lands, are not as commonly played in Modern. Maybe it's a budget brew. Maybe it's a deck that is not on my radar. It's called Intar and suggested it is not a budget brew, although the fetch lands have gone down in price, which has been nice. Oh, it's a Storm deck. Got it. We could just be dead here. We don't have any interaction. So now we really want to hit a Lightning Bolt, although they're holding up mana for like what looks to be a Spell Pierce. Oh man, we really need to draw a Lightning Bolt. But we also really want to draw that land for our Sarkhan. Untapping with the Brawl is usually meaning death. Sigh. Alright, well I think we have to play to our outs, and our outs is killing this Brawl. Shadow Spear, interesting draw. So we can stick to our original plan, run out this Gideon, and do nothing because we can't attack. We could cast a Shadow Spear and hold up Doorkeeper Thrall mana. We could equip the Shadow Spear and attack for 3, trample lifelink, and hope our opponent blocks with their combo piece. See, they're in the tank though, and they're thinking they may not have the cards they need to storm off. Of the 1-mana artifacts we play, Relic would have been our best draw there, not Shadow Spear, because that would at least host their graveyard for gifts ungiven. Oh man, well, we'll go ahead and equip. See if they have a spike field hazard number 3, I mean, or a bolt. Get in some damage at least. Force our opponent to do something. They can still bolt it before damage if they have that. Storm doesn't usually play a lot of interaction like that. They may play some counter magic, but and then the Spikefield Hazard for Ragavans. Alright, well, let's see if they can find their combo pieces or if they just already have them in hand. They just needed more than 1 mana to go off. Grape Shot through the yard means they have it in their hand or they're digging for their combo piece. Okay, well, Storm is a known entity to me. We have the tools to fight it both in the main deck and the sideboard. Certainly after sideboarding we'll have some Flame of Vanner, destroy target artifact, target player draws 2 cards. Okay, sure, so maybe that's not a Storm deck? Anyway, if it is, we do have Rest in Pieces and we have more removal. So they got rid of the Shadow Spear, drew 2 cards. Appear to still be digging for answers. There's another land, which is good. I mean, this Gideon just doesn't look or feel good, but running it out now does let us set up for, if we draw another land, to swing in with, make it a 4/4 Flying Dragon with Sarkhan the Masterless and live our dream. Looks like it's going to counter, remanded. Okay. So the opponent turning through their deck. They put in they put another Brawl into the graveyard. All right, so we're definitely on the clock here of our opponent. They're drawing a lot of cards to find their combo pieces to storm off, and we're just hanging on by a thread over here, living on the edge of chance. They either will find it or they won't, and we really have no way to interact right now. So we're just hoping that they keep whiffing and that we can steal this game, but I would put our chances of that being less than 5%. Now they can cast Gifts Ungiven for 2. Do they have it though? They don't seem to have it. Desperate Ritual, now they're going for it, it looks like. So a Storm against our draw is probably just mouth-watering because we have had no interaction and we've been up the curve, 1, 2, 3 drops, just mid-range kind of grindy game that sets them up nicely just to find their pieces and go off. Urabask, okay, maybe it's not Storm. Or whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it deals 1 damage to target opponent and add a red. Red, exile it, then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. Activate only as a sorcery and only if you've cast 3 or more instant or sorcery spells, which I think they have already, and then it becomes their great work. It's for Saga. The first one deals 3 damage to target opponent and each creature they control. 2, create 3 treasure tokens. And 3, until end of turn, you may cast instant and sorcery spells from any graveyard. The spell cast this way will be put in the graveyard exile instead. Alright, well, maybe this is not a Storm deck, or it's a Storm deck with some sweet janky tech, but I guess I'll stop speculating now and just wait to see how we die. You may play a card you own from outside the game this turn for Wish. Okay. We take a damage. Yeah, opponent's just on a different axis right now than we are. They're going off. Exile the top. Now they have 1 red. Exile the top card of your library during your next turn, and you may play that card. Oh, sweet. So now they're going to have 5 copies of this or something? 6 copies of it for next turn. We'll just go ahead and respond. And then we can have 6. I don't even know what we want to see on the top of our library, to be honest. Not that. But now they know that is in our deck. So now we'll have 6 and watch the show. Are they gonna... Okay. Transform. Kill our Gideon, yeah. Get in for one. Get that brawl in there, yeah. So next turn they're gonna have 6 new cards to play, and we drew a Sarkhan the Masterless. They know about the Gideon Blackblade. A land there would have been nice. We can play the Gideon Blackblade and just hope it doesn't die. Seems like a solid winning strategy. Storm count 1. And we could just go ahead and not F6 through our turn since we have this 1 mana open. That would be like the smart play to pretend like we have some interaction, but our opponent's about to exile the top 6 cards of their library. Alright, well, could it be worse? Alright, they're going to draw 3 more cards. We don't have any instants or sorcerers in our graveyard for them to target. But they have plenty in theirs, which, I mean, I think that this game is inevitably over in our opponent's favor. They are going to just see what they're... I mean, we know they're a Storm deck, but playing with some sweet new cards, both Flame of Anor and this Urabasque. Twinferno, I mean, they have a nice brew over here. Now they're going for the Gifts Ungiven. And we will scoop it up. I mean, it may not be totally over, but we don't have any way to draw another Gideon. Oh, man. Let's do Rest in Peace. March of Otherworldly Light. If it's not a token creature, I don't know if that is going to hit anything, to be honest. Let's see. We want to have... We kind of just want to keep our game plan as much intact as possible with some aggressive starts into big finishers while having more interaction. We saw the Spikefield Hazard. Doorkeeper Thrall didn't seem like it was at its best. So let's take that out and then take out maybe a single Gideon. And then I'll see what I put up on my website. Alright, opponent seems really nice. We do have the Rest in Peace. There's a Saga. Alright, so we have the early interaction. We have the early card draw. So this is a good hand for us. Alright, so we'll go ahead and probably get... So we're going to run out this Rest in Peace, and hopefully it will stick around. Just keep chatting with my opponent. Alright, March of Otherworldly Light is a really nice one. Let's go ahead and run out this Urza Saga since we can start making constructs and we don't have anything else to do with our mana other than kill things. And it reminded me to attack. Thank you, MTGO. I give you a hard time for F6ing through that, but you let me attack. Alright, now we're cooking with gas. We got this Rest in Peace out. We have Karn, Scion of Urza, ready to grow more constructs even more. We can make the constructs. We have a little bit of interaction. So we're going to just go there as a Saga plan and hope to get there. I'm telling my opponent about how we've had some success with the deck, but not on the back of Sarkhan the Masterless. It's been mostly Gideons. It's on the back of Gideons and Urza Sagas. Like, it's still... I lost my train of thought because he wrote something. Alright, Goblin Electromancer comes down. We'll wait till end turn. Anyway, I was saying that we have yet to really get to win with Sarkhan the Masterless. He's had a couple moments in this league where he did stuff, but he has not won a game for us yet the way he did in some of the matches. Specifically in the matches that I recorded that didn't have sound. Man, we're going to not be able to do anything else this turn. So we can go ahead and get like another layer of protection with this Relic of Progenitus, or we can go ahead and get the Shadow Spear and try to start punching through damage. We're not going to unfortunately be able to Lightning Bolt, which is probably an oversight on my part. Hopefully they can't go off with this Rest in Peace though. Could just go for the long game. I think we're going to do Shadow Spear, boring but effective. Attack for 4. So Sarkhan hasn't really done much, and our wins have come on the back of hands like this, where we get Urza Saga and a Gideon or two. So we've definitely gotten... Oh man, we really want that bolt too. We already have 2 removal spells though. Put it in the yard. Well, that does give us 6 points of damage. Maybe we should have just kept it and gone for the attacks, the big attacks next turn, and then hoped our opponent didn't block and then kill him with 2 bolts. So that might have been a mistake. I need to think more and talk less perhaps, but... So yeah, our wins have come mostly on the back of these Urza Sagas and with a few Gideons. Like, Gideon's definitely played a role. It's been really nice, but we haven't got to win with the Sarkhan very much. So even though this is a Dragons in Modern article, or deck for the article Dragons in Modern column, then it's just not many dragons. And I'll take the wins, as I'm saying to my opponent, as I can get them. But it would be nice to see our Sarkhan execute the game plan we set out to do. But at 5 mana and needing a board state to really shine, he's been more of a liability, as is expected, to be fair. Alright, Twinferno. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. So it looks like they might be blowing up something. Alright, well, we found a land. Fine, that was good. Let's see what kind of pain we're going to be in now. This is going to be a Flame of Anor. Destroy 2 artifacts. Destroy everything. Destroy target artifact. Target player draws 2 cards. Alright, so we're going to lose probably both of the Constructs. Yep. And we are left with... what's our best play right now? We want to go ahead and Lightning Bolt this Goblin Electromancer. So we want to bolt the Goblin Electromancer. We can equip the Shadow Spear and to this Esper Citadel and hit for 2, and then dash into Ragavan, hit for 4. We can't dash into Ragavan if we want to bolt. Alright, so first things, okay, let's see. So we want to run out another Esper Citadel. These are going to grow our Constructs as well. Bolt the Electromancer. This does put us shield. I think we want to save the March of Otherworldly Light, to be honest. But we can't, oh man, we can't, we don't have a white spell, so exile target artifact, creature, enchantment, mana value X or less. Let's get in our Ragavan hit while we can. I feel like I'm a little bit distracted by the chat with my opponent and the chat over with my viewers. And I've probably not played this in the best possible way. There's a Brawl that we can't cast, nor do we want to. Alright. Let's see if we can hold down the fort with this Rest in Peace. Next turn, play a Karn, get a 4-4 or 5-5. And then maybe draw another white card to have for this March of Otherworldly Light to get rid of any sort of Brawl type Goblin Electromancer shenanigans. Okay, there's the Brawl. It looks like we should have kept the Bolt. In hindsight, always keep the Bolt, I guess, against the Storm deck. Alright, there's going to instep. Another March of Otherworldly Light. Do we go Shields down? I mean, 5 cards in hand. I don't think we can just go Shields down here. They have the counter magic, though, for whatever we want to do. So I think we're going to wait a turn, try to march this Brawl Chief of Compliance. Yeah, getting rid of that Bolt it's coming back to haunt us a little bit. See if our opponent taps down for anything. Maybe draw some cards. Pay the mana. Pay the mana. Get rid of the brawl. They're going to... I guess I should have waited for them to pay, huh? Man, that was a mistake. See what we draw, though. Okay, well, that was a lot of back and forth and a mistake on my part. I should have let that resolve with their mana tapped. I clicked too early. They had floated their mana, but they hadn't paid for it yet. I should have let them pay for it and then cast the March of Otherworldly Light. So we basically wasted both a March of Otherworldly Light and a Gideon. And they had a follow-up Goblin Electromancer. So yeah, that was not a great play on our part. That mistake may cost us this game in the match. That's frustrating, yeah. Should have needed to wait for them to pay the mana for that Esper Sentinel cost, not just float the mana. So see what our opponent can get up to. Peer through the depths. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal an instant or sorcery card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Okay. Got the Ragavan. Not really ideal. We really want another kill spell. They still have 3 red mana floating. Yeah, this is one of those. This game in particular feels like one that I'm just not navigating as efficiently or optimally as I could, in that there are lines of play I could have taken differently here, that as I think back on it or rewatch it, I'll see that would have altered. Certainly that last play was a misplay. So besides that, though, I feel like there are a couple places here and there where I could have played differently to be further ahead. Assuming they'll go get either something that can take care of this rest in peace or just some kind of answer. Yeah, something that lets them go off this turn. So they have 1 card in hand and 3 red mana. Is it enough? We're at 11 minutes on time, so hopefully we win this game and we can get... they're just going to make a lot of Goblin tokens, alright, and we can get to game 3, but Empty the Warren's pretty good when you get that many tokens. 10 Goblin tokens, and now we have a Gideon of the Trials, which is nice, but isn't going to get us there. We did not bring in our Wrath of Gods. And our opponent still has 1 card in hand, so... So they can... Let's see. No, we're not going to attack. So they can attack for 10, either us or this Karn. We block, 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 take 7 and go to 9. They attack with everyone, and we're dead on the next attack. We'll see. 2 cards in hand, it could be anything. Yeah, I feel like this is a matchup that we have the tools to fight against, and that we could we're not. It's not like this loss as it looks to be doesn't feel nearly as bad as the one to the Mardu deck where we weren't even really playing Magic compared to what they were doing. So we will go block, block, block. Go to 9. Hang on by the skin of our teeth, and assuming our opponent has no action in their hand. We've been able to compete, and like I said, I think we would be doing better. There are different lines of play we could have taken that would have had us in a different place. First of all, not putting the bolt in the graveyard. That was one mistake. Second, of course, was the timing of that spell. Alright, so we'll make a construct. Gideon, they might have a counterspell for this since they didn't do anything last turn. Get an emblem. So now our opponent can just sit back and swing with all these goblin tokens until and just draw cards until we either die or we kill all their tokens, and then they just have a full hand to do it all again with whatever they want to do. We are no longer able to put pressure on. Now, after this attack, if we survive it, we can suit up something with this Shadow Spear. This Gideon's going to die, but we have another Gideon coming down. And if we suit up someone with a Shadow Spear, we can start attacking back, gaining some life. I'm not sure if it's a winning strategy. They'll have 4 goblins. If we're gaining 4 a turn, that could work. So we're not dead yet, but we do have a little bit of protection against just straight up Grape Shot because of our emblem. Yeah, well, Flame of Anor is pretty good. Draw 2 cards, destroy one of our artifacts. Dig for answers, dig for threats. Had we taken the correct lines or not, made different choices, it's not for certain that we would have won this game, but I do think we would have been in a better spot. We had a nice draw. Our deck is doing what it wants to do. If they don't deal with these 2 planeswalkers, which they have to, they have to go after Gideon. But for some reason they don't. A Sarkhan off the top does win us the game. Except we don't have the mana. So we need a land and a Sarkhan, and these 2 planeswalkers to survive and ourselves to survive these attacks. Here's the Grape Shot. Going after Gideon, and they're going to remand them back to their hand. I draw a card. Do a Grape Shot again. Kill the Gideon. Alright, just going for the token. Kill the... So now they can attack for 9, but they have to kill our Gideon first. Do they have the lightning bolt for the Gideon, and then we're just dead? Another Grape Shot to kill the Gideon. Alright, and we'll scoop it up. Anyway, this is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com. Glad to bring you a Storm.
This is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com, and this has been another edition of Dragons and Modern. Be sure to go to my site and check out all of my original Magic the Gathering content, where I post articles and video of my janky modern brews in my commander decks. I'm also publishing a couple chapters every month for my science fiction fantasy novel called The Pod Kind. Check me out on YouTube as well. Click that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll catch you on the next one.